What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 7th day of June today. Here we are at about half a cent with 3 hours. Sorry, 3 hours. No, that's not right. 23 hours and 7 minutes left in the day here. We just closed out the day, the 6th right there. Had a little bit of a bullish day. Not the way that I was expecting it to go at all, right? In yesterday's video, we were right here at the beginning of the day, looking like we were finding resistance. I did expect that the day would go to the downside. While we moved down a little bit, we actually maneuvered up here, and we are now finding resistance right at prior areas of resistance here and prior areas of resistance here as well. Making this look more and more, I feel like a slanted head and shoulders pattern every day, actually. It really does. If you look at it, this left shoulder is about the same size as this right shoulder, you guys. I guess this one's a little bit bigger, but it depends on where. Did the shoulder start here? Did it include this? I don't know. You know, it probably didn't actually include this stuff, because then the shoulder would be all the way down here. So like something over here, you know, that's your left shoulder. Here's your right shoulder. They're pretty equivalent in size. And if this is a head and shoulders pattern, I don't know if it is, but it very well could be. Let's look at something with some volume here. Bybit, yeah, volume profile is perfect for this to be a head and shoulders pattern. If this is the case, it's about to go down, y'all. It's about to, and literally, metaphorically and literally, things are about to happen, okay? I would anticipate, and we're going to try to draw this line as best fit as we possibly can, right? Some kind of slanted head and shoulders line there. I'm even cheating to the upside a little bit to make this drop a little bit more conservative. I would anticipate we do drop probably over the weekend. We begin to break out, and then going into the beginning of next week, I really think we'll be underway. Something like this, you guys, could take us all the way down. Measure move is all the way down here at 00238. Now, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm not saying that this will happen. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm saying that it could happen. It's a possibility, right? I'm expecting that we find support probably closer to this area here, something in this zone to like this zone right here. Measure moves are not everything, right? They're not prophecies. They're not written in stone somewhere, found in a cave in a desert, right? It's not a prophecy that has to happen. It's not a guarantee. It's an idea, and you can fall short of that idea. You can exceed that idea. But at this point in time, you know, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, from the current price, I mean, we're already talking about a 40% to a 30% drop just from here. I don't think that we're going to drop another 50% from this price, right? I mean, overall, sure. Overall, we could drop 50%, but from here, it seems a bit far-fetched. But we're going to leave that line on there, and we'll keep going from there, okay? I'm very much not impressed with this move up, by the way. I mean, look at the lack of volume. There's an entire lack of volume here, right? You're in the same area that you were over here. Look at the volume disparity. Here, you had volume, and you went higher. Here, you don't have volume. But what you do have is higher highs in the RSI while having lower highs in the price. It's hidden bearish divergence. It's a bad thing, actually. It's a very bad thing. You're right here at the 60 area, right here, an area that you were finding support on back here, but now you're finding resistance on potentially right here. If we're looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, you dipped into the overbought zone just to dip out of it. That's not a good look, man. Getting in and getting out is not a good look. Even this didn't do much for you, but at least there you lived in it for a second, right? You know, getting in, getting out like this. I mean, look, even here, from a high to a low, that promoted, even in the midst of your uptrend, that promoted a 10% drop over the course of 3 or 4 hours, right? It's not the most significant thing. You found support at the 60, and if you can find support at the 60, at least you will continue to move up. I'm not anticipating that we do, though. I'm anticipating we continue to go down, right? Notice how this move is a lot more robust. This move it kind of looks like it's ready to topple over. At least in my opinion, it does. Here we're breaking out to new all-time highs. Here we're finding resistance in prior areas of support and resistance. I have a very strong feeling that we are about to move down, you guys. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Head and shoulders pattern. It looks like one, man. The volume profile is appropriate for one, I suppose. Maybe not, actually. Because now that I'm thinking about it, actually, the volume, if it was over here, you know, coming down, that's nice and all, but this is not included in the head and shoulders, because then that low would be. So most likely it'd be like from here to there. I guess the volume actually increased and then decreased, to be fair. So maybe the volume profile isn't perfect, and maybe with the fact that the volume profile itself is not perfect, it's near perfect, but it's not perfect. Maybe with that in itself, that kind of illuminates the idea that I was saying earlier, which is even if your measure move takes you all the way down to whatever the price was. Let me see, what was it? I deleted all this stuff. All the way down to 0024. You probably miss it. You probably don't fully achieve that move. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah. Not bullish on the 4 hour, not bullish on the 1 hour either, right? Getting higher highs but lower highs still. It's just not a good look. Daily time frame, bouncing off the 50. That's probably why you had a little bit of life in you yesterday. You might move up. You might move up today. You might move up tomorrow. It might be a boring weekend. But I do expect, maybe late Sunday, if not Monday and Tuesday, I would expect that we do get this move underway and we probably do see a sizable move down, both to end this week and to start next week. From a relative low here, your double bottom off your all-time lows that you had all the way up to your high, you've bounced off the 236. You're showing the right support here. It's nice to see. If this is the low, if you don't go below this low, what I would need to see to validate that would be a daily close above the golden ratio. Not a price above the golden ratio. You can move up there over the next 2 days, right up to this area, and still move down, right? And to be completely fair, if you do that, actually, that would invalidate this head and shoulders pattern, which doesn't absolve you of going lower, but it does absolve you at least of this measure move down here, right? So if you take out these highs, the whole head and shoulders thing's out the window, so that measure move goes away entirely. But that doesn't mean that you're absolved of moving lower. You absolutely can still move lower until you close above 00575 2 days in a row. Till you close above that level twice, 2 days in a row. I'm not convinced that this is your low. Okay, it could be. It's very possible that it could be. Let's accept the facts here real quick. I know I'm talking about the downside, and at this point in time, my expectation, I'm letting you guys know just as clear as I can, I'm expecting that we go down either to the 382 or somewhere in this area, right? Between 0034 and 0029, something in that zone there. That's what I'm expecting that we do. But invalidate that. Start closing above, where is it? Was it all the way over here? Is it this fib? Man, I must have deleted it and not kept track of it. Hold on. Let's see, is that the low? Yeah. Oh, no, come on. Close above the golden ratio. Oh, I didn't even need that fib, actually. High to low here, which is at 00575. Yeah. Close above that level 2 days in a row. And then I'll start to talk about new all-time highs. Okay. Until then, I'm bearish. I don't think that you've seen enough. I think you're getting off light, right? If it seems like I'm just being bearish when there's causality to be bullish, that's not what's happening here, guys. From a high to a low, understand you dropped 43%. You dropped 43%, and that's intense. Don't get me wrong, especially if you bought the top, that's intense. But for most people, they're still sitting in the green, right? You got to cause pain. You got to cause capitulation before you're ready for your next move up, right? Like this move here, from a high to a low, right here. Actually, that wasn't even high. Here's the high. You dropped 43% as well, and maybe. Case in point here, this is a good argument for the fact that you find support here. But here's the difference, right? 43% of a drop here from that high to low, and what you had was a low to a high of a 3x move. You had a 3.2x move, and you got a 43% drop. Are we only going to get a 43% drop with a 10.2x move? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. To me, it makes more sense that we'd go lower. And if we are going to go lower, the only next logical area would be the 382, actually, which is 0029. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we went there. I wouldn't be surprised if ZBCN, what it does is it'll wick right down to that level. It'll wick right there. And then it will pull back and it'll close up. It'll close that same day right here at this level or higher. That's my expectation, right? So prices, time spent below the price of 0034, it's going to be very short-lived. Time spent at this level at the 382 is going to be very short-lived in itself. I don't think that we go any lower than that. I mean, it's possible that you could, but again, at that rate, I mean, we're already talking about a 60% drop, which is pretty damn standard, especially for some kind of drop, for a pump like this. There are bullish case scenarios. After all, again, you still are finding support at the 236. You still are. And as long as you're above the 236 and you're holding this immaculate support like this, you don't have to go to the 382. You really don't have to. But you have to get above that golden ratio, that relative golden ratio at 00575 in order to validate that this is a low and that you are moving up higher. If we take this relative high here to this relative low there, bouncing off the golden ratio as well here. Let's look at this. Hold on real quick, right? Another reason, another cause for perhaps finding support here and then moving up. If it wasn't for this head and shoulders look, if it wasn't for the weakness that I'm seeing in the 4-hour time frame and the 1-hour time frame, right? What do you mean weakness? It's overbought, man. Yeah, you're overbought, and you're at lower highs here than you were at your last peaks in the RSI, right? Here, you weren't even overbought, and you had higher prices. You're trying harder now and getting less results, right? You hear what I'm saying? It's not strong. Same thing here. You're trying harder. You're getting lower results. It's not strong. But if we continue to move up today, man, if you can continue and you get above 0.0575, that's your golden ratio from this high to low here. And it's also coincidentally this 1886, this purple line, this first purple line right here. You'll see it'll line up right there. Golden ratio, the 618 lines up right there perfectly. So getting above 0.0575 is instrumental in validating this as a low. Until then, I remain bearish, right? That's just what it is. The probability is to the downside. So I got nothing else for you guys. I very much do expect that after you see more of a movement down, you will begin to erupt to the upside, and it's going to be very, very nice whenever that happens. I think it's going to happen next week, if not the week after. After a 10x move consolidating like this, I don't think that, after 1 week that you're done and you're ready to move up. After a 10x move, I don't think so, man. After a 3x move, okay, sure, right? And you got more to go. Okay, fine. Breaking out to new all-time highs. That whole shebang. Okay, cool. But now you broke out to new all-time highs. You did your thing. You stopped at the 1.886.200. You think you're getting off a 10x in less than a month and a half, and you're getting off with a week of consolidation on the low end of what averages for a drop in crypto? I don't think so. I don't think so. At least another week, and in that week you can absolutely see some downside, and then the next week will start to move up. So I think this next week will be bearish. And the following week after that, going into the middle of the month and the end of the month, things will be bullish. ZBCN will start to recover. And if it's not quite like that, the only thing that I think is different is that we consolidate for a longer amount of time. But that doesn't, just because you consolidate for a longer amount of time doesn't mean you're moving down, right? Like here, if I said we're going to consolidate for a longer amount of time, you didn't really move down, right? You just moved sideways. You can do stuff like that, or you don't even have to move sideways. You don't have to move down. You can consolidate and move up. If I can find an example of that, I guess. I don't know. I mean, kind of like this, right? Where you're consolidating here in this area, and then you broke out and moved up higher, but you kind of consolidated to the upside, and then you consolidate to the downside. You know what? You could consolidate either direction. It's not just because I'm saying that I expect we will consolidate for another week, and if I'm wrong, I would think that that's only in the form of more consolidation, not less consolidation. That doesn't mean that you're going to be moving down for a week or more, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm not expecting things to get exciting, too exciting, at least, until probably the end of this month, if not at least the middle of this month, which we're almost there. But, I mean, yesterday was kind of exciting, 14% up. If you take a low to a high, low to the high, I mean, that's a 30% move overall. That's not bad. That's exciting in itself. It's crazy, man. You look at the chart, this is the boring moves, and you've had a very tradable opportunity twice. If you bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here. How would you know to buy there, though? How would you know? You'd have to be some kind of genius or some kind of guru. You'd have to have like a crystal ball or something. Or maybe you just have to use the fibs. Maybe you just have to use the fibs and you buy the 236 twice or just above the 236 twice, expecting support both times if you're bullish. I was expecting on the second time we'd go lower, to be completely fair. I thought we'd go all the way down here. And then there, I mean, if you sold at the 0.5 or above the 0.5, you would have nailed it. If you sold here right at these prior areas of resistance, you would have nailed it. Or the 382, you would have nailed it, right? You might not have gotten a 30% growth each time, but if you bought low and sold high both times, you probably have an overall compounded profit of over 30% just in the last few days. So ZBCN, as it is with any coin that moves up dramatically fast in a very short amount of time, it's very tradable after it kind of cools off, right? It's very, very tradable moments here. So I would expect that this continues to happen. Maybe the weekend is not going to be so tradable. It'll be a little bit boring, but I think next week things will start picking up again. And then going into the end of the month, that's when the real magic will start to happen. We'll start moving up to new all-time highs. If not by the end of this month, then certainly early in July and into July. But I mean, I would think that by the end of this month, you're going to be these highs are going to be a thing of the past by the end of this month, man, like genuinely. But I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. All right, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. And I got one of these things here. Hold on. It's going to get loud. So if you got headphones in, maybe mute it or do something else. But one of these guys, you know what that is? Can you see it right there? Can you? Oh, damn it. I messed it up. Haha, there we go. Okay. Now I got to clean up my desk. All right. My daughter thinks these are fun, and I just have some at my desk. So that's why I did that weird little thing at the end there. Okay. Aren't these things so weird though, man? Let me see. Can I find one? Where'd the rocks go? I gotta clean up my desk now, man. They're these little rocks. Let me do it again. Let me see if I can find another one. Hold on. I'm gonna have to clean it up anyway. So why not? Hold on. Let's just see. Let's get it. Right. And then they're just like little rocks. They're just little tiny rocks. I always thought these things were so cool. Maybe I'm a nerd. I don't know. Anyways. All right. Bye-bye.